Hey, what's up guys? Soapss here. Welcome back to another video. Today, I have the contest results. So, we got a lot of submissions, probably close to 50 to 60, which was a lot to go through, and that's pretty awesome. I just want to say thank you for everyone who submitted their artwork. I got a lot of really cool art, a lot of funny ones, a lot of good laughs, and me and Danny had a really fun time going through them all. So I ended up picking 8 that I thought really fit the game, and things that I knew I could work with. And we're going to just be showing them off today. So these are officially in set 1. So if you buy some packs today, you have a chance of getting these cards. Also, if you want, you can just put in like the little Etsy description of your order. You can be like, hey, Soapss, I want these cards, and then I can put in 1 or 2 for you. I can't put in all of them because the way that I print cards is I print them in sheets, and I print a set at a time. So I only have 1 of each of these cards per set. So in the 140 cards that I print, I'm only getting 1 of these, 1 copy. So if you do order and you're like, hey, I really want Chemical Cam because I drew him or my friend drew him or something like that, I am completely okay with just throwing in a Chemical Cam for you. But I can't be like, yo, here's all of them. You get what I'm saying? Because I want a chance for other people to get them too. So these also aren't 100% finalized because I'm not very good at doing things the first time around. I'm really good at misspelling things, and some balance changes might need to happen. So, yeah, but for now, they're good. And if I change these, it'll be in the next print run anyway. So, yeah, you can get your hands on these cards right now. So, up first, we have 2 from Ion. So I'll put a little icon of his Instagram up here if you want to go follow him and check out his art. He submitted like a 3-stage evolution Pokemon type series, and I ended up picking 2, and I thought they really fit as like a balance to the tabletop tree. So I know there's a lot of death cards in set 1, and with set 2, I want to balance it out by making a lot more fire and storm cards so that we can have a more well-rounded type game. But this is like the balance to the tabletop tree and the tabletop plants upgrade series. So this is Chemical Cam, and he's a 2. So it's a little bit different from the tabletop tree and tabletop plants because they cost different, they have different stats, but their abilities cancel each other out. So so Chemical Cam costs 2, and he has 150 attack and 180 block. He can be upgraded, and his ability is teeny bit toxic. Your opponent only gains 2 elixir instead of 3 at the start of their turn. So Tabletop Tree's ability is you gain an extra elixir at the start of your turn, so you would normally be getting 4. But then if you also had Chemical Cam on the field as well, then you'd be back down to 3. So yeah, you don't need to use it when your opponent uses tabletop plants. You can use it in different scenarios, but then you can upgrade him into Toxin Toby, which upgrades on Chemical Cam, and he's another really cheap upgrade card. So you're really only saving 2 elixir to upgrade him, and he just has the same ability just like Tabletop Tree. So he's got 310 and 270 right there. Those are cards number 131 and 132. Now these cards aren't on the checklist because checklist was made for the original set 1. So right now these are like secret rares. They're not even on the list, but maybe we can change that in the future. Next up is a Sad Party from Elliot F. Again, I'll put up his Instagram right there. And it's a spell card. It costs 4 elixir. And equip this card onto one of your opponent's monsters. All of your opponent's monsters' abilities are canceled. So I'm really excited to try this card out. It's really cool. A lot of the cards in the art contest are actually really cool card ideas. Because when I'm thinking about it in my head, like when I'm making my own cards, I make a card, I draw it, and I'm like, all right, what ability can I give this? So actually seeing the arts and the ideas come from other people, it really helped kickstart my thinking process of like, hey, what ability can we give this? So like I wouldn't normally draw this, but now that I see this here, I have to come up with an ability for it, and it got me thinking a little bit more out of the box, a little bit more creative. So a lot of cool cards came out of this contest. I'm really glad that we did this. So you equip this onto one of your opponent's monsters, equipped it onto their Toxin Toby for 4 elixir, and now his ability is canceled. But let's say he had a Chemical Cam and a Toxin Toby, so you were just gaining none elixir. With that equip card on it, both of their abilities are canceled. So it can really mess your opponent up with that one card. But of course, when Toxin Toby dies, the card that he was equipped to dies and is sent to the graveyard, the ability goes away. So you probably don't want to kill the person that your card is equipped to. So that's 3 so far. Next one is, I think, my favorite. Yeah, Soapss has a favoritism right here. Of all the contest cards, I just absolutely love this art. It's Citrus Cannon. It's a spell card. It costs 0. I almost just said ink. Wow. 2018 flashback. 0 elixir. And its ability is discard X amount of cards. So if anybody knows Pokemon and plays Pokemon, I don't want this to be confusing for you guys. Just think of a normal Pokemon attack where it would have an energy and then, let's say, scratch, and it would do 10x. And then underneath it, it would say flip a coin, and for X amount of heads that you get, you can multiply it. So the X is just however many you discard. I was trying to make this the least confusing as possible, so I used a Pokemon type wording. So discard X amount of cards from your hand, and the equipped card gains plus 40x attack. So you would equip this to a monster. I might want to reword that and say, that it's an equipped card. But you could discard one card, and then the monster would gain 40 attack. Or you could discard your entire hand of 5 cards, and it would gain math, 4th grade skills, 200 attack. So I love this art because what I think they did, and what I normally don't do, is I usually draw all of my cards straight onto the template sheet. So I just, draw on this little 1 inch by 1.5 inch rectangle. What I think they did is they drew in a larger space, and then I fit it into that box. And I think it looks really nice because there's a lot of depth. You can see the layers of this. You got the trees in the back. You got the dude shooting. He's shooting out his little bros, his little citruses at you. And then this dude's all the way in the front. So when you hold the card, back a little bit, there's a nice perspective, and you can definitely see what they were going for. So this is by Ben M. So here's his Instagram up here if you want to go check him out. And yeah, so next up we have Awaken the Beast by Ashton B. And it's another spell card. It's very simple art, but I think it's very cute. And it's equipped. When this spell is equipped to dies, place a 5 through 6 elixir monster from your hand to the field for free. So this could be fun to put on like a Carl or I don't even know, like a 0 elixir Eager Beaver, so that your opponent really doesn't want to kill him at that point. But you can put it on any cheap monster, and when it dies, throw it on a Chemical Cam, because Chemical Cam would stop your opponent from gaining their full elixir. Slap a Awaken the Beast onto him, and now your opponent might not want to kill your Chemical Cam right away, because when he dies, you get to place a 5 or 6 elixir monster from your hand to the field for free. So you could throw down a Sea Burger or a Fur Ninja as like an avenge the Chemical Cam. So that's Awaken the Beast. I think this has a lot of potential as well as a spell card. I definitely want to try this out, scare away some potential attackers with that guy. But you can kind of see, I don't know what the original artist was going for, but the way that me and Danny interpreted this was there's a little dude, and he's summoning up his beast to protect and avenge him. So there he is right there. Next up, we have Pumpkin King. So I kind of goofed on this. Like I said, I'm not usually very good at making cards properly the first time around, which does make it a little bit fun sometimes. But this card is by Will M, which is actually Ben M's brother, which is kind of funny because both their cards got in. I just love the beauty in their arts. But this is another death type, and he's a 5 elixir. And I kind of goofed because I gave him 460 block instead of 360 block. So he has 6 elixir block as of now instead of 5. So he's 340, 460, and his ability is mini pumps. Every time this card attacks, you can place a 1 through 4 elixir monster from your hand to the field for free. So anytime he attacks, you can just go boom, Chemical Cam, or boom, Toxin Toby. And yeah, I think this also has really cool potential. And the way that I interpreted the art for the ability, you can see all the little mini pumps down there, and he's just summoning them up with his beautiful arms right there. I also did a kind of cool thing with this art is the texture of the original paper in the image that he sent me. I kept it everywhere except the character, and I think it makes the card pop really nice. I like the homemade aesthetic with the old paper in the back, so I decided to keep that. We will change it to 360 eventually, but hey, if you buy packs right now, you might get the most broken card in the game. And it's going to be a collectible because it's subject to change. So if you want this card, going down into the description, hit up the Etsy and check out this card right here. Finally, last two. We have another one of my favorites. It's just a clean art right there. I edited it to make it perfectly matte black. We have Shrew, another death type. I was thinking about making him fire, but I was like, nah, he's a death mushroom. I love when I move my hands off camera and you can't tell. But it's by Krill K. Again, Instagram. I know I didn't say that for Pumpkin King, but I'm sure you saw it. It's a 2 elixir, 140, 190. And his ability is Super Spores. So when placed, all opponent's monsters lose 80 block. So this is kind of like a Pencil Rain. So as the same ability as Pencil Rain, which if you don't know is a spell. But this could be the monster variant. So let's say you want to run a lot of cheap death cards in your deck. A lot of cheap death monsters. And you might want to run this instead of the Pencil Rain type card. I just think that this adds a little bit more variation to the game, and I think I would definitely see myself using him in any deck that I might want to lower the opponent's stats. You can just throw him down, maybe run 2 copies, and really just keep throwing him. Maybe slap a Awaken the Beast on him so that your opponent won't want to kill him, even though he's so cheap. So there's a little bit of a trade-off because, normally with Pencil Rain, you play a spell card, you don't have to worry about your opponent gaining a point. Where with this, your opponent's going to gain a point no matter what. That's just what happens with monsters. If they die, your opponent gets a point. So, but you will still have the ability of your opponent losing 80 block, and then maybe you have another monster that could kill him. But there's Shrew. Look at that beautiful face. And then finally, we have the one and only Mr. Transcendent by Ewan Anderson, a longtime fan of the channel. I absolutely love this guy. He knows all the old memes, all the boysist memes from the Soapss channel. So shout out to him. His Instagram will be right here. And Mr. Transcendent. So he's an upgrade to a card that's already in the game called Mr. Enlightened. And Soapss done goofed it again. Unless, we want to keep it like this for the meme. I don't know. But Mr. Transcendent is a death type, where Mr. Enlightened is a life type. So, I don't know if this fits the card to be a death type, because originally in my head I was like, yo, Soapss is a life type. But now he's a death type. So maybe we'll change that. Maybe it'll stay. I'm not really sure. But it is an upgrade card that can only be placed on Mr. Enlightened. And he has 370 attack and 440 block. So he has around 5 to 6, not like Pumpkin King. He has around 5 to 6 elixir stats. And his ability is Energy Reflection. So I think this ability is going to be really cool. I want to see how people are going to use this, because I think it has a lot of combinations. Pay 4 elixir and Mr. Transcendent and 1 other card on the field. Can't be attacked or affected by spells for 1 turn. Also, guys, if you think that I need to change up the wording to any of these, like I said, this is a homemade TCG. There's a lot of trial and error. A lot of work goes into this. So if you're like, Soapss, You know, Elixir is spelled with 4 E's. Just let me know and I might be able to change this up for you guys, because it's your game as much as it is mine. I want this to be all fun for both of us. I want people to easily be able to understand this. So hit me up if you think that there needs to be a change to any of these cards. So pay 4 Elixir, Mr. Transcendent, and one other card on the field can't be attacked or affected by spells for 1 turn. So let's say you got Mr. Transcendent and a Shrewmanson out here. So maybe you slap down your Shrewmanson to lower your opponent's block, but you're like, yo, I don't want my opponent gaining a point. So you slap down 4 Elixir, and now neither of these cards can be attacked or affected by spells, which would suck if you have a spell, you know, if you have an Awaken the Beast on him, because now that doesn't work for the turn. But this is really cool because normally in SketchBook Chronicles, to make the game a little bit more balanced, a lot of the spells are really strong. And I call it like the snipper scale when it comes to spells, is a snipper can kill any monster on the field. Let me just grab one of those real quick. Okay, so right here we have a snipper. So the snipper scale is snipper costs 3 Elixir. And he can kill any monster on the field the second you place him. So it doesn't matter how strong of a monster your opponent has, you throw down a snipper, it's gone, you gain a point. So because that's such a strong card, the reason that this is in the game is so that the game kind of flows. It can change really fast, and it allows you not to get steamrolled. So even if your opponent has this really big combo, and you're like, oh my god, what am I going to do? You can still draw that snipper or that airstrike or anything and be able to throw it down and be like, okay, I might have a chance of coming back because I stopped your combo. And so even if the opponent starts with a really nice hand, they can be like, boom, boom, upgrade card. I upgrade the upgrade to the upgrade, and now I have 3,000 block. And you're like, oh my god, what am I going to do? You can still find that snipper in your deck and take it out. But with Mr. Transcendent, for 4 Elixir per turn, you can protect him and another monster from spell cards. So normally in the game, any monster can be killed by a snipper. There's no ability besides this card that allows you to protect yourself from spell cards like snipper. So with Mr. Transcendent, you do have to pay 4 Elixir, which is more than you gain on your turn normally. So it is a little risky. You're going to be in a Elixir deficit, but you can protect yourself for probably 1, maybe 2 turns if you saved up. So it's a really cool card, and it kind of mixes up the game because normally, like I said, you get this really nice push going, and then they can just be like, snipper, and then you have to build it back up again. And when you're playing the game, it's not like it's the end of the world because you usually factor that in. You're like, okay, he might have a snipper, so I gotta not throw out all my punches all at once so that I can deal with that, or an ink spill or whatever. But yeah, Mr. Transcendent, he definitely changes up the game. He's gonna change up the meta. I'm gonna see a lot more Mr. Enlightened out there and everything. And it's kind of funny that he's a death type. It's just a lol. See, a lot of these things, guys, is if there is mistakes in your trading card game or in SketchBook Chronicles, it's a homemade TCG. It's going to be fun. And sometimes the best things can come out of mistakes. And at that rate, they're not even mistakes anymore. They're just, oh my god, I almost just Bob Rossed it. They're just happy accidents. But that's it for the art contest. Yeah, Snipper, get out of here. You're not an art contest card. Thank you for everyone who submitted. I'm sure you saw the thumbnail. I'm going to try and do this big compilation of a bunch of the submissions that we got. These are the cards. They're now in the game. Again, guys, if you want to go hit up the Etsy link and pick up the cards. I write notes to every single person that buys Sketchbook Chronicles. We're all a big family here. You're my bro. I'm going to write an amazing letter for you, draw all over it, and we're going to have a great time playing Sketchbook Chronicles. So grab some cards if you want to. Love you guys. I'll see you guys, in another guy video.